So here's a quick one that backs up what I've been saying since day one. What happens, what negative things can very likely happen when you give a woman too much certainty, not to mention too soon. And what I mean by that is rushing into a relationship, rushing to move in with her, bombarding her with validation and attention and all that, never checking her, putting her on the pedestal, giving her the certainty that you're more into the relationship than she is, and you're not going anywhere, the type of crap that can happen to you. And this one's all about a guy who rushed to an engagement, and all of a sudden, once she got that ring, she's no longer interested in hooking up anymore. And when he does get it, it's the bare freaking minimum. And this is why you don't do these types of things. And now he's thinking, maybe it's time to get out of this. Title: My fiancée, a 33-year-old female, and I, a 38-year-old male, have been together for a year and a half, but our intimacy in sex is not what it used to be. You're with her for a year and a half, and you're already engaged. You out of your mind? My fiancé and I have been together for over a year and a half now, and early on, the sex was great and often. Smack! That's a smack for being engaged to her after knowing her a year and a half. Of course you're engaged to her in a year and a half because that's who you are. And she, obviously, when you started together, she was 31 years old. Early 30s, no ring on her finger. Oh, she was putting on the pressure. Now, since she moved in and started a new job, her libido has decreased, and we don't have sex often. And when we do, it's not as good as it used to be. How interesting. Since she moved in, since she got a rock on her finger, and it's not as good as it used to be. Meaning, in the beginning, she roped him in with the Lovin and the sex. He thought, I got the jackpot, I got the pretty girl, I'm getting all the crazy stuff, and now, whoosh, done. She's also not as intimate or affectionate anymore, and it's very disheartening because I internalize it and think negatively about myself and us in general. Yeah, he doesn't feel wanted. He feels like I'm repulsing her. No one wants to feel that way. She recently had to change and uproot her entire life to move here, including a new job, new home, moved away from some family and friends. Okay, that can be stressful and everything like that, but still. She moved approximately an hour and a half from where she had lived. I try to be understanding and open to her regarding all the stresses in life, altering changes that have just occurred. But whenever I try to be close and intimate, it's not as well received as it used to be. So I can get a move is it can be a little disheartening, but she moved an hour and a half away, not 23 hours away. I moved from freaking the Boston area to South Florida. That's a major change. However, I'm not getting depressed and all that. I'm a very loyal and sexual person, and I thoroughly enjoy pleasing her. There's a problem. Well, if he physically enjoys pleasing her, then that's one thing, but still, that can be perceived as him being a pleaser. I'm also having a hard time coping with her past because she was very sexually active, not as active as I was. Ding, ding, ding. She was a carousel rider, and he knows it. And what happens to the carousel riders? They all want to eventually settle down with that nice guy. That nice guy will be way more in the relationship than they are. Whenever I don't feel I'm getting the same treatment as her previous partners, I tend to get upset and make her aware of it. So this guy probably whines about it and acts kind of like a bitch, I'm willing to bet you. Yeah, you're not getting the same as the other guys. Because the guys that she really wanted, they got everything from the buffet in line. He gets the bare minimum. He gets the freaking, he gets bread and water. And they got the bad boys get baked Alaska and all sorts of good stuff and lobster. He gets bread and water. Because he's the nice guy, and she knows he ain't going anywhere. We got engaged in the summer, and I'm starting to have some reservations about my decision. And questioning whether or not this is what I want as a partner. She's also not that affectionate and tends to be negative and complain a lot. Now, why the hell are you with her, dude? Whereas I'm the complete opposite. Am I being too selfish? No. Do I need to allow time for her to decompress from all these life-altering changes so we get situated? Or is this a red flag I need to take serious? Dude, it is a giant red flag. It's a massive red flag here. And not to mention, taking the lack of affection and love out of the picture, you said that she's negative, she complains a lot and all that, and now you can add she's bummed and depressed. But again, okay, people move and they maybe change is hard for them, but still. You guys got engaged, you think she did that because she cares about you? No. She's in her 30s, she's a former carousel rider, she wants to settle down. I guarantee all of her friends, or many friends and family, are getting married. It's her turn. And she found a nice guy who'd be happy to take her and endure all her bullshit, right here, and not do anything about it. Well, our guy here at least is saying, maybe this isn't a bad situation. So, bro, here's how this is going to go. This is going to continue to be this way. You're going to be considered to be the bad guy by her friends and family because you're not being understanding enough and blah, blah, blah. You marry her. If you think it's bad now in terms of the lack of the sex and affection, it's only going to get worse because now she's got you locked in. Now the government is involved with the marriage. And I might add that if you say that she's already negative and complains a lot, that's going to go to a whole new level. I've noticed a lot of times that women, not all, but many, as I've observed and doing these stories, when the guy gives and gives and gives, they become even more resentful, more complaining, more bitching and carrying on. Meanwhile, the guy that they really like, yeah, they'll complain about him to the girlfriends, but it's a different type of thing. So what you need to do is really reconsider this whole thing. Frankly, you should call the whole thing off, in my opinion. Whether you're the balls to be that way and that drastic, but I think you call the whole thing off. You barely know her, a year and a half, and you're already engaged. So, like, it sounds like they've been engaged at least since the summertime, a few months now. So, a little over a year they get engaged. Dude, are you that desperate to get a wife? You're 38. You're in your prime. But I mean, I don't know. He could be 300 pounds and not get a lot of attention from gals. I don't know what the situation is. I feel like a loser. You want this? You really want to be divorced and be married to this? No. You need to break it off and figure things out for yourself. And I want to be with someone. You need to be with someone that wants to be with you, is enthusiastic to see you, to hang out with you, to give you affection. You deserve that, as all people do, men and women, from who their partner is. And yes, in this situation, I can say partner because it goes girlfriend, boyfriend. God damn it, you know what I mean, guys. But anyhow, he doesn't deserve this. But guys, this is what happens when you rush into things and give them too much certainty. Rush into things, rush into engagement, rush into moving in together. Let her know that you're not going anywhere. Bombard her with affection. This is what can happen. So guys, be very careful about these things and take your time if you're a relationship type of guy. And if you're not having your needs fulfilled and met, and you were someone that makes the experience miserable, you walk away. End of story. But we shall see.